I'm less and less interested in religious men, if I'm being honest with you. I told Paul this the other day. I don't know. You hit me with the man of God thing. But
you say God a lot on your podcast.
God?
Yeah, you be like, God, oh my God.
Oh my God. No.
Oh my God is different.
Oh my God is different than
God.
being a man of God. If you're leading, I don't know. I've just had some. I've had some negative experiences with people that lead with their religion.
Are you religious?
Not really. No. So I would say I'm a person of faith, but I'm not. Okay. I was raised in a Baptist church, very, very religious family. I don't think that just because you're a Christian that you are, not living a good life. I'm just saying if that's the first thing that you bring to the table, it's a red flag for me because
you feel like
I don't
they're hiding behind their religion.
I don't care. Why? What does this matter to me?
Something happened with that before. That's what that happened.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
You might have a trigger behind that.
I do.
Sure. Yeah,
I do. Yeah. I absolutely. Yeah. I'm acknowledging I'm triggered by this, and it's become a red flag for me. Wow. I'm not saying that if you believe in God that you are a red flag. I also don't give a just tell somebody else about it. I think for some men they think that that's what women are looking for, looking for a good Christian man. Yeah, and some people are, but just not me. So
but this is my thing about religion too. Like man may not lead with it, but some men needed to pull them out of places. Like when there's nothing else. Like I felt like religion pulled me out of some dark places, and I believe
religion or faith.
Faith, probably faith,
right.
More so than
because to me those are two different things. Okay, believing in God, having spirituality, having a connection with your spiritual side, praying, all of those things I do.
Yeah,
but religion is different.
To lead with let's go to church on Sunday.
I'm Christian, I'm Catholic, I'm Baptist, whatever it is, that's your religion. Versus I'm a man of faith because I pray, I believe in a higher power.
But also for me,
to my spirituality.
I feel like a lot of men that are extremely religious think that if we get together that I'm going to start doing that, and I'm not.
Yeah, I haven't been to church in a minute, but I pray. Yeah. And I have faith. Yeah.
Which you're a man of, you're a spiritual man.
You're a spiritual person. Yeah. And we all have a spiritual side in some way or another. Yeah. But spirituality and faith and religion to me are two different things. But it is a trigger for me, so I understand that it's going to sound crazy to people.
All right. So that was Joy Taylor talking about a red flag for her are men who come out the gate saying that they are Christian. And then she said that she said women don't walk around looking for that type of man. Shania, what do you think about that?
I think it goes back to offense and perceptional filter. Mm-hmm. Because the thing about, I can't remember where I heard it from, but basically triggers are a good thing because it shows you what you need to handle and what you need to pray about. It's a prayer point. Because in this situation, it's because you are filtering and operating through your hurt and your pain, sis, you're rejecting the very thing that you do want. Because yes, women are looking for men of God, men not just in title, but in spirit and in truth and in deed. Because when they are saying, I'm a man of God, they're letting you know that they're serious about their faith. Now, I understand we do need to have some discernment and we do need to observe the fruits. So I have learned not to just jump on, oh, you're a man of God, and just assume that, all the fruit is automatically there. So you need to look at that, amen, and take your time with that. But you're literally rejecting a good thing because, yes, we are looking for men of God. For real. Yeah. So that's a prayer point for sis. And it's good that she know that it's a trigger and that she's triggered because, once again, it's making you fight against what you want.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say this real quick. If you a man of God and you see that, I'm going to say this to you. Stay in the church. Find a woman of God in the church. And I'm saying that clear as day. These women out here that you like on the low on your IG page because they showing so much, because they showing thirst traps or whatever.
Yeah.
Stay in your church, bro. Because she's loud and clear saying what a lot of women are thinking that's out there that's like that. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about women in the church. I'm talking about women of the world who got worldly mentality and who are quote unquote spiritual. We have a religion that's a pure religion. That's what the scriptures talks about. What we have. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing. And I get her method, but I'm just saying her logic is not far away from a lot of other women that think like her. So that's what I'm saying. You're some men of God are thinking like, yo, if I could just say I'm a man of God and, you know, I'm different than these other dudes, that these other high value men, then some of these women don't want you because you got a standard about your life.
Sure. Yeah.
I think too, though, once again, I'm trying not to just look at the offense of look at somebody who's coming against what I stand for, what I believe, and try to look at it through the lens they're looking at it.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of men out here who say they are men of God who are actually not living it out.
Yeah.
And you're pursuing everything that a worldly man is pursuing.
Yeah, that's true.
So now when you come to her and you say, I'm a man of God, I'm did this and that, and she have a certain expectation, and you don't meet that expectation, you're doing everything that a man who is not of God is doing.
That's real.
Now she don't know how to separate it too. Now the lines are blurred. So now you put a bad taste in her mouth. What it sounds like is she dealt with somebody who said they were a man of God and they did her wrong.
Yeah.
So now she's saying, look, I let my guard down expecting to be in a place where it was going to be safe with a man who had these Christian values. And when I let my guard down, he did me the same way one of these dirtballs did over here. So now when you leave with the man of God stuff, whatever, I ain't really trying to hear it because I got finessed already by a man of God.
Yeah.
So what you need to do if you're really a man of God and you meet a woman, of course, first of all, you should be looking for somebody you equally yoked. Like if you're a man of God, you shouldn't be looking for Joy Taylor.
Say
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Just being
Say
real.
facts.
Yep.
And not to judge Joy Taylor to say she's unredeemable or nothing like that, but the way she carries herself,
Yeah.
the things that's been in the news and she's proud about and she shows no shame about her lifestyle and how promiscuous and things she is, like as a man of God, that's not the kind of woman you bring home to mama. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. So it's like find you a woman who has similar values and similar morals, who believe in the same thing you believe in. And then even with the woman of God, even with the sister, even with the woman of God, don't be out here trying to get the woman of God to fall into sin.
Yeah.
Because it's men out here looking for wives, but God not going to give you a godly wife if you're going to go out here and drag her through the mud. Why would God submit his daughter to somebody like that who's not going to take care of her?
That part.
So
Yeah.
for me, I'm all about accountability. So I got to do that on both sides. If I'm telling them like, hey, you got to be held accountable, us as men of God, we have to be held accountable as well to be who we say we are. Otherwise, we live in the bad taste in women's mouth. And now when we say we a man of God, it don't even matter because she think we all the same.
Yeah. I've been married 13 years, and I dealt with this before marriage. Like, I used to take girls that I met from the radio station, from the club, to church. You know what I mean? That was one of my litmus tests. It's like, I go to
every
church.
day?
No, because I go to church every week. So if you want to get on my schedule, if we're talking about getting together and doing something, well, Thursday night, I'm going to be at Bible study. So do you want to go? And they would go. They would go. Now, the good thing about it was I never came out of the character that I portrayed through the word. Like, that was always who I was.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing about it. The sad part about it was they weren't looking to change. They weren't looking to change. I remember one girl saying, hey, I got to get out of this situation with you because this is too much. Like, I stopped smoking already. You know, she was smoking cigarettes, of course. But she was like, you know, I stopped smoking already. We were reading the Bible the other day on a Friday night. Like, this was wild for me. Like, this is not my normal Friday night. And I was like, cool. But now we were also just friends, but I knew she was interested. And so it does make a difference. Like, we know a lot of young ladies in the church that we've met through this podcast, through ministry, through so many different things that are looking for that right man. So you're right, Jay. Don't lead a church.
Yeah.
I found my wife at church. You found your wife at church. Sean found his wife at church. Like, it's a great place for you to meet that significant other because you cut down so many barriers that you're trying to. I was talking to somebody the other day that was telling me like, yeah, I'm dating somebody. Man, I'm trying to get them to go to church. I'm like, you don't want to do that. That's too hard.
Yeah.
Trying to get them to go to church.
I was talking to one of my
That's too much.
homeboys this week, and he was showing me this woman he was talking to or whatever. And, you know, he was like, man, she just sent me the picture. This is how she look. And I'm looking at the outfit she wearing. And I'm like, bro, does she know you? Does she know the lifestyle you trying to live? Yeah, we pray together. We do that. I said, bro, y'all ain't praying together. She praying on you with the outfit that she got on, bro. And it's like, and I said, bro, that be real, man. You know this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? You know this ain't it. She look good, and in your mind, you debate whether or not you want to hit it or not. Just to be honest, like we not invincible. Like we see the same thing everybody else sees. She had the tools. You were looking like, man, it's appealing. This look too good for me to leave alone, even though I need to.
Yeah.
If you know you need to leave it alone, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
And fight that lust.
That's it, bro.
That's what it is. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it won't change when you get married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to crucify lust immediately. You got to kill that dragon immediately. And I think the thing is, like I was saying earlier, it's just you're so enamored with women you see online. So that's what you think you want.
Yeah.
And honestly, they, like you said, they may start off good. They may want to pray with you. They may think they're spiritual. We got to have that conversation too. That whole
that thing is crazy. I want
so like, but I think at the same time, like you said, sooner or later, if you're serious about this, you say, or if a man's serious or a woman's serious, hey, I'm not trying to have sex until I get married. Hey, I'm not trying to kiss you. Hey, I'm gonna walk you to your door. Hey, Friday night, I'm not going to no club. I'm going to this church event that we got going. Hey, I'm trying to do. Sooner or later, like you said, it's gonna just turn. It's gonna peel off.
When the Bible say I was a child, I thought like a child. When I became a man, when I was a child, like
put away childish things.
Anything that looked good that was coming my direction, I was on it. You know what I'm saying? But now, like I see where that got me. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm learning from that. So now it's like, okay, the things that I'm supposed to look for as a man of God and a woman, I'm not supposed to be looking for the same thing I was looking in the world for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it looked good. You know what I'm saying? We see it. You scrolling on your phone, you'll stop and pause, you'll look at it. This will be real. You'll look at it. You're gonna do a brief out. You're gonna do a little window shopping. You know what I'm saying? But even with that, you gotta be careful because the enemy is smart.
Yeah.
He don't come with the blatantly obvious thing. You look at that post. Okay, you scroll. You look at another post, you scroll. Next thing you know, you just continuously planting them seeds in your mind. So now the woman of God who modestly dressed, you looking at her like, man, she boring. I want some action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now
Or the man of God. If a woman's scrolling and she like muscles and she like muscle shirts and a dude come in with a not a suit, but a regular shirt, and then you be like, oh, he boring. Like, So it go both ways.
I think one of the things that we definitely have to warn people of is the aftermath of that consequence, right? Like I was always thinking to myself, man, if I do these girls in the church dirty, then what happens if my wife is actually in this church and she hears about the reputation? That was my thing. And that's exactly what happened. I met my wife in the church and she took the litmus test to her friends in the church and nobody had a bad thing to say. No one was able to be like, hey, that's not the one. And the bad part about it was I fell in love with my wife so fast. We did everything from dating to engagement to marriage that I knew from the very first conversation she was the one. And I would have been devastated if I had closed my eyes and was like, oh, man, I found the one. Thank you, Lord. And then all of a sudden something comes out 3 months down the line and she's like, oh, I can't do this with you. You don't want that. And so you have to make sure that you're not that person that's leading these people down that path because it'll come back on you. It'll come back and it's going to hurt when it does.
Yeah, and like you said, you don't want to be in the church dating everybody.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
By the Spirit.
Don't do that because your reputation is all you have. And if you have a bad reputation in the church, then it spread. Even if you don't want it to, it does. So if you dating old girl 2, old girl 3, old girl 4, by the time you get to somebody like Ryan said that's serious, they're gonna go back to old girl 1, old girl 2, and go say, hey, don't date him. He said this, he said that. And going back to what you said about Joy Taylor, I as I was thinking about it, it's like, man, if she did come across somebody who said they were a man God and end up being a wolf, then I feel bad for her. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad for that situation because
that would have sounded like
because she could have been easily somebody. She could have easily. We never know if her faith could have went left ways because of that situation. You know what I'm saying? So man, men, we gotta really like
hold ourselves accountable.
Do what you say and say what you mean. You know what I'm saying?
And the same flag is also in the reverse. If you meet somebody who tells you they're spiritual, but they don't want to go to church. You know what I'm saying? They say they pray every day. Who are you praying to? Who are you praying to? If you are not wanting to go where fellowship is, where God has called his people to, then who are you talking to? Because that, to me, sounds like meditation, sounds like you could be into Buddhism. Like, there's a lot of different things.
And a mix of it all.
To go back what Shania said, the offense will have you in that place of confusion. It's like if somebody coming to a church and they're expecting, man, this is the place where the people of God are. I'm broken, I'm hurt, I'm looking for help. And then you go into that church and they're not really operating correctly. And then you have a bad experience. Now you feel like, man, if I can't go to the church, where can I go? It's no different when you date. It's like, man, if you've been out here, you've been single, you're trying to find a man, or you can have a family and live your life. And he say he's a man of God and you have these expectations, but he don't meet those expectations because he's living totally contrary to who he say he is. Now you got a bad taste in your mouth, like, man, even the man of God ain't no good. So where do I go? You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you represent who you say you are.
Yeah. There's a quote that I was told growing up, and it suggests that you can tell where a man is by who he dates and like what woman he's engaging with. And of that, the same thing can be said for a woman as well. But I like when you said like the litmus test. That was something that I was able to test myself on to see where my affections are and where my mindset and where my eyes are. Because if you take a step back and look at who you're attracted to, that may give you a good understanding of where you are in your walk. And a prayer point that I have and that I've been constantly been putting before the Lord is, Lord, let the idea of who I am in my mind match the experience of what other people are experiencing of me. Because I can think I'm more spiritual than I am, but if I'm attracted to Chris Brown, that's not correlating. You get me? So it's like if I'm attracted to these men that's thirst trapping on Instagram, there's a part of me, like you said, lust or whatever, there's a part of me that still wants, and that's after some of these things of the world. If I'm attracted to a man that's still clubbing and going to the church, what is that saying about me and my affection and my devotion to where I stand with the Lord? So in that as well, I advise everyone to take a step back and also do that prayer point to where you can make sure who the idea of who you think you are matches who you actually are and how others experience you as well.